What's up? My name is Matthew Stratton with MatthewCreating.com. Welcome back to the second episode of MPC Producers Flip the Same Sample. Before we get further along in the video, I want to thank Andrew Wong for creating his video, Producers Flip the Same Sample. Thanks, buddy. Today's guests are going to be Theking Oceasar, IAMSIGHT, the Drank Kang, Dean from Electronisounds, and Digga. The original sample for this video was provided to us by Mr. Wiggly. Mr. Wiggly does have a YouTube channel, and he does have some nice dub jams on there, so go ahead, check out his channel if you want to hear some of that. So let us go ahead and listen to the original sample right now. Before we jump into listening to the beats, I want to go ahead and thank all the producers that were involved with this. Thanks for giving your time and energy to make the beat and send over the videos. I do appreciate you. And I want to say thank you for watching the previous video and liking, commenting, and sharing it. It really means a lot to everybody that was involved with that video, and it means a lot that you appreciate that. Let's jump into the first artist.
What's up, guys? This is Theking Oceasar, part of the Matthew Stratton Flip the Same Sample Challenge. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the beautiful MPC Gold, and I'm going to show you guys what I did with this sample. All right, guys. So what I did is I took the sample and I chopped it by threshold, and then I just took out the samples that I wanted. I didn't keep the whole thing, and I came up with this. So that's the actual sample in the beat. Okay. So then I created a drum program, and you know, I came up with this drum loop. Then what I did is I added this this pad. Then I added these bells. And I think those are like kind of like a sitar like type of bell. Then what I did is I added this synth, and I mixed all this stuff down. So like I'm pretty sure like the bells and the synth have like a little bit of reverb on them, and I always EQ and take out like the low, take out some of the low end. So you know, I didn't take out much, just take out a little bit. That's the beat. I hope you guys like it, and I hope it beats in your speakers. Thank you.
See what you working with, homie.
Okay, let's turn this up.
Small chops on the sample, like that.
Went eerie with it.
This is cool and unexpected.
Nice gentle vibe about it.
Love it. That's my vibe. Texture sound.
Okay, where are we going with this?
Whoa!
Okay.
That's energy.
Okay.
Instantly, that track makes you want to move.
808s, man. Things is booming.
I really like the high synth in the background.
Sounds like a bomb about to hit.
I like that snare.
Yeah.
It's dope. It's got like some old school elements with the little synth cowbell kind of thing.
Little cowbell.
Hi-hat plays. Crazy. I like them rolls.
I like the separation of the notes in the sample.
I like that open hi-hat.
This is hot.
Yeah, I like this section.
Yeah.
You notice that nice open hi-hat, it keep the whole track moving.
It's crazy. Brought that synth back in. Looks like a string synth. Feeling that.
I'm feeling the energy that the track bring. I like that. Nice energy on this.
I can see this going R&B or hip hop, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a nice subtle use of the road sample, which they've made their own, which is cool.
That was crazy.
Nice.
Wow.
Totally unexpected.
I like it.
Great work.
808s though, boy. Woo. Hey. What's good, y'all? It's your man Sight, repping that MPC gang. I just wanted to thank Matthew for inviting me to this one, man. I watched the first one like 20 times. I appreciate being able to rock out on this one, and hopefully we can keep the bar high. So let's get into it. Let's get busy. All right, so first thing I did was I cut up the sample. It was a little too laid back for what I was in the mood for at the time. So what I actually ended up doing, I pitched it up about 7 semitones. So yeah, I just really chopped it up into really short syllables and went into program mode, and I set the warp on each pad to about 150%, stretched it out. So even though there were short syllables, it kind of stretched it out, gave it like a gritty, glitchy kind of character to it. So I thought that was really dope. And then what I did was I just found a pattern that I liked. So I went in, and what I ended up with was this loop. You know, I pretty much went right into a bass line. I was feeling like I wanted an 808, something kind of gritty to match with the loop, with that kind of distorted, pitch shifted feel. Here is the 808 I selected. Just almost sounds like a growl. I love it. So yeah, I went ahead and put that together, and the bass line I came up with was. So once I had those going, I wanted to add some drums to it. I went ahead and put together a drum pattern that I felt would be, you know, kind of like aggressive with that kind of growling bass tone. At this point, I wanted to add a little more melody to it. So what I did was I just opened up a piano synth. So I used the Mini Grand. I used the hybrid, just added a couple sprinkles of the synthesizer in there. I whipped it all up together, put in some different variation, and worked with the XY effects quite a bit, you know, do some stops, some more dramatic stuff. Yeah, you can go ahead and run the beat.
All right, slowed it down.
Okay, yeah, I like how you put the sample on the front, then he switched it up.
Ooh, that's gonna have a nice drop.
Okay, I like that bass.
Ooh, that bass nice.
See where this is going. Okay.
Nice bass.
It's almost like on some blues stuff, but you know, a nice hypnotic trap vibe though. A nice hood vibe. I like that. That snare's cracking hard.
Now we're talking. I like those strings in the background.
So we're gonna go on this beat, you better have some bars, boy.
The snare hits so hard. Awesome.
It's got that bounce to it. Yeah.
Got the keys in there.
A nice break. I like it. It's gonna drop again.
Slight filter cut.
Come on, bring it back one more time. Yeah.
It's nice, that little end bar.
This hits hard. I'm digging it.
I can hear the sample the way you warped it. Really nice.
Yeah, you know, 2 minutes goes by quick, man. I was liking that, man. I didn't even say nothing. You did a great job on that.
Really like that string run. Oh, forget about it. Great work.
We got some real talented people on this panel.
Really nice. I like that joint. Yeah, that was nice. What up, guys? This is your boy DZD, aka the Drank Kang, Purple World Entertainment, live from the Dungeon Palace Studios. Quick shout out to my man Matthew for having me on his channel to participate in this Flip the Sample video. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So without saying too much, I want to jump right in, let you guys see what I did with the sample. Let's do it. And I'm going to take you through this real quick just to show you what I did with the track. I looped the sample off nice and clean, and then I pitched it down 3 semitones. That's down -3, and that's where I kept it. So I created a program, and if you notice, on track 2, right here, I have high sample, and then on track 3, I have low sample. So that's pretty much the same tracks. They are split up into high and low frequencies because I kind of like to let the high end play and then the low end play on samples in a beat. So this is just the low and high sample playing. And then after I got the low and high sample playing, I wanted to drop the 808 on the track that sounds like this. And then I dropped some nice piano chords on track 5. Track 6 is a nice lead sound. I wanted to give it a nice little light texture, so I threw some bells in there. That sounds like this. Okay, and then after track 7, I went to the drums, and along with the beat, that sounds like this. So yeah, I had fun making the track. Once again, shout out to Matthew for having me on his channel, man. I appreciate it, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the track.
My man, Drank Kang, got some dope videos, man.
All right, we got some glitching. I can dig it.
Okay, I can definitely hear the sample in
Let's
this.
see where we're going with this.
All right.
Then they changed up the vibe right there.
Drama.
Some chords, bass.
All right, let's get into this.
Woo!
Yeah, I like that bass groove.
It's nice, man. It's like kind of like a Miami bounce to it.
It's a nice filter on the sample there. Smooth.
Yeah.
Kind of like a horn synth in there. I like how he kept the original sample. Just kind of chopped it up a little bit.
I really like that drum groove. It's like kind of simplified, but yet there's a lot of movement in it.
It's got some GTA vibes going on.
Oh yeah.
I hear you, bruh. Woo. Little Cali synth lead in there.
I love that lead synth in the background and these bells.
Drums is crazy.
Yeah,
The Drank Kang, that was good stuff right there.
I like that. Good job on that one.
Drank Kang, you killed that, bruh. Killed that, bruh. I'm feeling that.
Yeah, that was amazing. I love what you did with the sample. Hey, before we get started today, guys, I'd like to say an extra big thank you to Matthew Stratton for including me in this producer flip. I'd also like to give an extra big thank you to my buddy Dominic, Mr. Wiggly, who provided the actual source sample that we all used to make our tracks with. Thanks, guys. Okay, let me show you what I've actually done here to put this track together, guys. So we started out with the Rhodes loop sample from Mr. Wiggly. The very first thing that I did is I wanted to use like the Rhodes sample to do some sound design. I used the MPC stretch function. It turns it into this really long sort of pad sound. At that point, I trimmed into the sample and found a part like where it started, where it sounded pleasing. Went into the modulation section on this program, and I told it that depending on how hard I hit the velocity of this pad, it should vary the start point of the sample, and it should vary the filter cutoff of the sample. And there's some effects on here. I used quite a bit of like the distortions. So what I did is I went ahead and went back to Splice and found a top loop that was at 172 BPM. I imported that in and I started chopping up the individual sounds there. Like a tiny little bit of some ghost snares. What I used for the sub bass, an original Akai S950 sine wave. Got like a drum fill. I found this on Splice as well. Pretty cool little drum fill, and I've got some reverb and delay and whatnot from the built-in Akai effects on there as well. But I used my Virus Darkstar, and I just scrolled through some presets until I found like a melodic sound. This little like stab was made by, again, just taking a little section of Dominic's original Rhodes sample and chopping it out and then just tuning it up and down. I've got some other little tiny chops that I did the exact same type of stuff with here. Here's another chop that I was able to sort of, you know, put some distortion, some grimy distortion. This is my effects track, and so it's going to have like down filters and risers and crash cymbals and impacts and stuff. Because all the drums I just programmed by hand except for these little breaks that I'll show you. And I just use these in like one section of the track. I was able to create these crazy like wubbing, dubsteppy, drum and bassy kind of like bass sounds. And there you have it, guys. Those are the sounds that I used to create my track.
Already a different vibe.
Oh, that's a change up.
Honestly, this is something different than I even heard from Dean.
I like how to get like jealous of stuff like this because it's so hard for me to make this stuff.
Real high energy.
Real up tempo.
I feel a lot of energy in this one, man. I like that.
Shit is frenetic. You know what I mean? Frantic. A lot of energy.
Like I used the sample for like some chord stabs in the back. Cool.
A lot going on in the background.
Like I can almost like hear this in like a video game or something like that. Like honestly, like
I like all of the percussion elements.
Perfect amount of distortion on that thing.
Nice bass line, man.
This is the definition of small things make the best impact.
Wobble bass, punchy wobble bass. Yeah, that's good stuff.
A lot of small things in the track that just keep everything moving. I like it.
So glitchy.
Sound effects is crazy. I love that. Nice.
Did that bass in there? Boom.
So much variation, man.
yeah, there's definitely gotta be a like something visual.
Bruh.
Wow.
It's kind of like the track Take You on a Roller Coaster Ride. I like that. Really, really nice track, man.
Yeah, that was cold. That was dope.
Who needs coffee? Play that every morning. Wake your ass right up. That was dope, man. You killed that, Dean.
So I started with the default drum program 001 and I loaded the Mr Wiggly Road sample to pad 1 and pad 2. And in the program editor, I simply reduced the semitones for the first pad to -8 and increased the semitones for the second pad to +11. And then I applied a trick to automate the sample start point. If we go to the filter envelope page, you've got the velocity to sample start parameter here, and I've increased that to 127, and that's the modulation source there. So that means if I go to the step sequencer and select this pad, you can see that I've drawn in a velocity curve, and these velocity values will be essentially making the playhead or the start point jump around in the sample. You won't actually see that visually, but that's what it's doing in the background. So if I go to the step sequencer, I've done that over 2 bars. So the first bar's like this and the second bar's like this, and that gave me this melody. I then copied this sequence to a second sequence, and that gave me a different variation of that melody, which I used basically as the chorus. Then on a third sequence, I then added this second pad, which has got the higher pitch version of the Mr Wiggly Roads, and that gave me this, just to lift the track up a little bit. Then I went to the Dark Parallax expansion pack and I put together a kit. The only other program in the sequence is a sub-bass key group. And we've also got a pad sound, which was made out of the tail of the final kind of bounced track. And that gave me this pad. So I can now play that as a key group. Then I went to song mode and arranged all my sequences, and then I just converted that song into a longer self-contained sequence, and that makes it easier for me to start adding automation and things to build the track up and progress it. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoy the track. Thanks very much, Matthew, for having me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the other side.
Start off real glitchy.
You already know it's gonna be some weird vibe going on with his style. Love it already. You gonna have that in and out type of vibe. You know, nice weird elements going on.
The way they got these filters in here, like I gotta learn how to do this. You should do a video on that tube, Digga.
I don't even know what to expect right now.
I like the way you walk the sample. Nice.
I like that snare. It's almost like a cup clapping or something. Like, sounds like a Foley sound.
Just like the other one's real good sound.
And that kick drum is heavy.
Wow.
Flip the hell out that sample with the stutter effect.
He took it to a whole nother place. I like it.
You know those DJs, that trance style? That kick drum is everything.
Nailed it. This is crazy original, man.
It's crazy how you flipped it.
I like the sound effects too. Nice weird sound effects going on. It gives a lot of ambience in the background.
The sounds are all around my head. It's very three-dimensional, this one.
Wish I could make stuff like this. Takes a different type of vibe, man.
Okay. I had a little voice in there.
It's got a nice bounce too, nigga.
This guy had like a real happy feeling too.
Go calm everybody down now.
I could ride to this and just feel happy.
I wonder if he did like a note repeat to get that effect. That
Wow. That's crazy, man.
That's a journey, man. Great work.
So creative, man. So creative.
Seems like every time I hear something from Tube Digger, it's like completely different. Very diverse artist. I like it. Really fast, let me show you what I did with this sample here. So if you go to this first sequence here, and then on track 5, I have the program sample here. So that's what it sounds like. Now if I go in here, I got a bunch of effects on there. Let me take them all off. All right, so this is what the original chop sounded like. Okay, so let me go back to the menu, program, edit. If you look, it wasn't hard to find the BPM because the guy put the BPM inside of the sound name, and then I just trimmed it up. I pitched it up 4, and I got everything nice in time. And if you listen, all right, that's the original sample. And I took those pads, I copied them over, and I reversed them. All right, so there's that there. And if you come back over to the main, go back here, I'm gonna start putting these effects on one by one. So I filtered out some of the low end. I put the lo-fi effect on there to give it that nice lo-fi kind of grit feel. And then I put the ensemble on there, and I gave it kind of a chorus effect. And then I just put the maximizer on there. And there you go. That's what I did with the sample. I used this sample program throughout the song in every section of the song. And then, you know, came up with my different parts.
Ooh, a little chorus effect on there. Almost like a phaser.
Oh, it's scrambling me. Scrambling me. I like it.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Nice clear drums. I like that.
Everybody's drums is beating, bro.
Building up the drama. I hear you. Oh, change up.
Leaving some room for a vocalist.
Put the kitchen in the pot. Put the pot in the kitchen.
I like how you kept the hi-hat super clean and loud here.
Very simple, but catchy and hard.
Killed it.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh!
Oh, funky drummer.
All right, I like that extra beat that's coming in.
I like these drums too.
This is the type of track that's absolutely radio ready. It has enough space for somebody to do something on lyrics, sing something really nice, not jumping.
It's got a little bit of a police vibe.
So much variation too, man. You guys are going nuts on this.
I like the way you took the sample and warped it, and then kind of scrambled it.
I love what you've done with the sample.
Love it, man.
It's like chorus on it or something.
Drum programming is dope.
That swing vibe too.
It's the variation in the different sequences. It's crazy. That cymbal ride on them.
And I like the way you layered that bass underneath. You know, it sounds like a bass guitar or something like that.
The breakdowns on that one, Matt. Yo, you killed that, bro.
Nice track, man.
Everybody's beats is banging, man. Banging drums.
Fantastic. All right.
Everyone did a great job, right? It's amazing what you could do with the MPC, all right? So we took one sample, the same sample, 6 people, completely different outcomes. So if you want a more in-depth look at what everybody did with their own beat and how they went about, you know, processing the sample and making their song, go ahead and check out their YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a description, or excuse me, I'm going to leave a link in the description for everybody's YouTube channel that was involved with this video. So everybody that was involved with this has their own YouTube channel. And I know a couple producers are going to go ahead and leave a longer in-depth breakdown. And if you're completely brand new to the MPC, consider going to mpcjumpstart.com, where I teach you how to upgrade your MPC and give you a really general overview of the MPC Live and how to go ahead and build a song with the MPC Live. Nothing too complicated, just something to get you familiar with the basics of the MPC. And of course, remember to like, comment, and share this video. My name's Matthew, create music daily, and we'll talk soon.